I can only stand people needing me for so many hours a day. I needed a quiet place to be alone.
Yeah. You go there regularly. You go there regularly then?
When I can, yeah. If I can't get there, there's a few other hidden spots that I have not told anyone, including Aurelius, which really ticks him off. But I need to get away from him too. He's very needy.
Oh. He probably cites something like, at least one of you is supposed to be a leader.
What? Yeah.
Yes, we do, Mike. It's not great.
No, that's Arthur's.
But, to be fair, I was still but a boy when I was brutally murdered, so...
Choke is in such bad taste.
Well, since I was the one who supposedly died, I feel like I can make this bad joke.
Well, seeing as you were murdered, is that all your training, or did you have to clue somebody else in to help you out?
Oh, no. Well, so what happened is that I saw my castle go up in flames. I saw the White Lady roast my mother. Not a pleasant experience. And then I passed out. And I'm not sure if it was because I inhaled a lot of smoke, or it was really hot, or both, or whatnot, but when I woke up, I was in the forest, and Will was tending to my burns. So I'm guessing he got me out. I didn't really ask for details because I was still kind of mortified by everything.
Trauma will do that to you.
And honestly, I was kind of on the lam for a year, just kind of doing my own thing. And then Aurelius found me and then scolded me for not telling him I was alive and for letting my brother take over and all of this stuff. And I was guilt tripped heavily into being him.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I can see that.
And I mean, it's not like he's entirely wrong. Like, I'd already been making plans with other people to totally usurp my brother if it's necessary. But I honestly thought that maybe he would just go off to war like my dad wanted, and then just die. So I would have to. But that was wishful thinking.
Yeah, divine intervention often ruins the best laid plans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I kind of wish that they were a little more, you know, behind the stage, like that Christian God.
Don't let Tiberius hear that.
Actually, yeah, don't let Tiberius in on that one.
Which one's Tiberius again?
The well-off merchant.
Oh, the big guy.
Yep.
Got it.
The classy guy.
Didn't strike me as terribly religious, but
Oh no! As it turns out, he's been doing that whole finger movement thing for almost constantly.
Oh, you mean the cross? Yeah. Well, I mean that's just something they do. I found there's two kinds of Christians. There's the ones who are like super devout and then they end up like going into the priesthood or whatever, and they're like really righteous. Like, you're going to hell if you don't do this. Whoa. And then you have the ones who apparently only go to like 2 masses a year. And they're like, nah, I'm good. I can't remember what there's like Christ Mass, and then there's like one in the springtime where he supposedly died and came back.
Another resurrection.
Passover?
story.
No, not Passover, that's Hebrew. What is it? Too many religions in my head.
Yeah, I was lucky I didn't have to pay attention to half of that.
Well, when you've got a country of mismatched religions to run, or the fact that the country that you came from suddenly switched religions on you, like, and so we're still kind of trying to catch up with that. Because us over here, we were not informed until much later that there was a whole God switch. We suddenly had all these, like, special soldiers come out, and they're like, you can't have that edifice anymore, and it's like, but she's the goddess of the hearth, aren't we supposed to? And they're like, no, only one God, and it's like, when did this happen?
But
I mean, to be fair, this Jesus fellow sounds like a much nicer guy than Jupiter.
yes, that's fair. Actually, a lot of the gods, now that I think about it.
Yeah. It was almost starting to feel like God's got away with too much.
You'd think they would be able to keep each other in check more, but no.
Turns out the gods are very much live and let live.
Live and let live.
It is a very outdated topic here to overhear this conversation.
Some of them might be live and let die, but
Or living's optional, burning is eternal.
Ah,
oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Wait, a singular god can't be that good if half of his believers say that you're going to hell. Wait, are they talking about a different kind of hell than hell?
I don't think they're talking about Helheim. But don't quote me on that, because I don't really know a ton about hell.
Well, what do you... I imagine you would know more about this hell then, wouldn't you?
It's a lot of fire and brimstone.
Okay, so it's definitely not Helheim.
Okay. No, it's actually what's the other one? The one with there is the fire branch. I can't remember what it's called.
No, I can I now. I think
I
about
want to say it starts with an S.
Yeah, my
Like Sondheim or Sold.
all I can think of right now, huh?
Muspelheim.
Oh yes, Muspelheim. That's what it is.
Sometimes the composer.
I was trying.
No, it's very similar in sound.
I just know that it's like a lot of fire and brimstone. There's a lot of weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth because you're like having to come to terms with all the bad stuff you've done in your life, and it's run by Lucifer, the serpent, Satan, whatever you want to call him.
Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky.
I had a pet snake once. think it seemed that bad.
Hmm?
I had a pet snake once. I didn't think it seemed that bad.
I've had I had mixed stories and encounters with snakes, so
You seriously misunderstood creature. I had to quote Hagrid. uh,
yeah, no, I don't like this new religion going on. Really hope it doesn't become more infested in the world than it already is.
nah, it's just bad.
Yeah, it'll die out once everyone realizes half of Roman ideology is also pretty bad.
We're gonna, yeah. Right now, I'm thinking that the cultists have the right idea. Am I happy about this? Mixed encounters. But hey, and we do.
Oh, it doesn't start with an S.
Alright. I should probably go back to being. Oh, the sparring was fun. We'll have to do that again.
Make sure to.
I'll go easier on you next time.
Yeah, and I expect a belt soon.
Oh, yes, that. So,
I would
the
ask for
sort
one
of.
of your nicer ones, but apparently it was burned away. So
Yeah, I lost my favorite shirt that day.
Humor to get through tragedy. Good day.
Let's not stop to think about that I lost my favorite parent that day, too. Just the shirt. We're just gonna focus on the shirt.
Not the trauma of seeing your mother burn to death.
we're gonna veil it behind humor before we both try and figure out where the nearest tavern is.
Pretty much.
Or the fact that I'm like, because I died, my true love married one of my best friends, and I'm really jealous about it, but I like him, so I'm not going to do anything about it. Yeah, he isn't. He'll do something about it after he's dead. Anyway, yeah, no, good belt. Well, I got good belts. My tent's the big red one. Next to the big tent.
Alright.
I don't know if I'll let you in right away, but if not, just slip in the back. Nobody will notice.
Alright.
And if I have to rescue you, I'll come rescue you. It'll get me out of whatever Aurelius plan for today.
So basically, Uther's wanting him to get in trouble so that he can come save him.
Or he's testing to see how sneaky is.
Paladin
Or
is.
persuasive. He could be persuasive.
Because yes, let's test the sneaky sneak of the paladin.
Clink, clink, clink.
Oh no, Ern's absolutely taking a few hints here, and he's like, "All right, we'll do." And he actually starts flying back to the tent we've set up, and to take off his armor, and start sneaking in immediately.
Okay, we'll come back to that. We'll see how it goes. Alright, so, back to Brina. So, yes, you found Swordplay 101. Prince Irian will, wave to you as he sees you walking up while he's going around and he's, like, fixing foot placement and...
Because my thing is, like, I know how to handle my Tayaha, but it's probably going to look different to them and probably like nothing they've ever seen. Because I'm like nothing they've ever seen. Yay.
This is
Very true.
that we need to be getting Adea into so she can actually learn how to wield a gladius.
What?
That would require getting her out of the forge.
At the moment, I don't think even Cadmus would want you to leave the forge. If we wanted to get you out of the forge, we'd have a bunch of druids to have to get through first. It's like, no, she's doing good work. Shoo.
Really gotta try for like different voices. I don't know what kind of voice to give him though.
It's okay.
Problem is he's Scottish, but I can't do a Scottish brogue.
And then it's okay.
I can roll my R's, and that is it.
Good enough.
It just has random rolling R's in there.
I think what you do
Or you can
is
call me
you
Lassie.
take any stereotypical Viking accent and then you do that because that accent is actually Scottish, not Norse.
It is true. Very, because the Norse have yoo-hoo kind of sing-songy voice. Don't you know? I still love I am Loki. Okay. Don't you know? Okay.
If anything, roll a couple R's, call me Lassie. You're probably good. Not the dog.
Yeah.
Lassie.
Anyway. Hello, you little one? Did you want to join? No, don't stand like that. You look stupid. Look, if you stand like that and I go like this and he just like elbows this guy in the ribs and he totally falls over. See? You have no center of balance. You need to balance. Now keep back up and put your feet shoulder width apart.
Bend your knees.
And do not lock your knees, you'll pass out.
Yeah, Spanish than you do. Bro.
My name is Nigo Montoya. Please you kill your father. Please don't do that.
Brogue is.
Brogue is deep. Don't speak bear.
That's usually how I have to do it to get sucked into the brogue. Is I
Hey
have to
man,
say-
if I want to do Spanish, I have to make my voice very high. Because I lived in New Mexico and everybody speaks real high.
That's a Hispanic Mexican accent.
What if I wanted to be Spanish? All I have to do is make a lisp. And then, it's Spanish.
Yes,
So I don't know enough Spaniards. All I know are Hispanics.
Are you sure my size won't be a problem?
Oh no,
About that man's hip. Maybe.
definitely not. You're definitely by far the smallest one we're going to have in the rest. But the Saxons have been employing children. They think they need to start young. That's just kind of their thing. Do I think it's smart? No. Kill off the next generation before they ever get a chance. Then again, maybe the Saxons will kill themselves off.
I doubt that that's gonna be a thing, but I guess you could hope for it.
I know. It takes a lot more than that to just... I mean, complete genocide is very difficult. Rome has managed it. Don't ask me how.
Wait, what'd you? I'm actually having a hard time understanding you right now, which would work for a true Scottish accent.
Especially because you don't speak Scottish.
I don't speak Gaelic.
No, you don't speak any of the local languages.
Yeah, but no, Prince Urian speaks Fae.
So he's got a glittery scar.
He's got a glittery Scottish accent.
Glitter fireworks popping off. Scottish accent.
The Fey glitter mixed with the Scotch.
Got out from under the bed.
Well, I haven't wielded one of those swords. I mean, I have my Tayaha, but as I hold up my little, because when I looked it up, it's not a spear. It is a fighting staff, and that is according to the government of New Zealand, because it's a Maori weapon.
I mean,
I imagine it has some of the similar fighting techniques.
As a quarterstaff and as a spear, I think it's kind of
Or like a
blended.
halberd.
I'm
Which
not
is
sure.
also
I see.
staff.
That is an unusual weapon. And I won't say that it isn't good for them to practice against weapons they're not used to, but if you want to be here for this class, I am teaching just proper fighting stance with a sword, which could come in handy if you want to.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I'm trying to figure out how best I'll be able to help, so might as well pick up something new.
New skills are always important. Let me see if I have one the right size. Hang on. He starts like rooting through a pile.
The sword's probably about my height.
Let's see.
Why do I feel like the other people in this class are staring at him like he's nuts because they can't understand him anymore?
Oh yeah. So as you're waiting for him to find a sword and you're looking at these students, these are definitely peasant. These are people who've probably come from local villages and want to defend their home. These are not people who are used to fighting. They're probably not people used to seeing anything remotely close to magic. They're people who definitely believe in the Fae. Just because of the nature of their position. But yeah, they're just kind of dumbfounded, and they're probably thinking, wow, they're speaking some fancy nobility language.
Whereas this is one of the few people outside my own party I can communicate with.
Yeah. Finally, he manages to pull a sword out. It's still a little big, but it's definitely meant to be a child-sized sword. And he'll come over. It's not exactly the right size, but it'll do in a pinch, just to learn the basic stances.
Okay.
So basically, right now, we're just learning how to stand and hold the weapon in such a way that it is blocking any blow coming. A parry, basically. Parry. But, yeah. Basically, you want to make sure that you're hard to knock over. We're just going to take a wide stance. Keep the sword in front of you. And then just mimic what I am doing. And that is all I am asking. And if the two of you in the back would stop whispering to each other, that would be great.
As he switches into
Switches to Kimry. It's just like you see like two boys in the back just like
Okay, so these are peasants, but are these like am I only in a group of teenagers?
Not all of them. Some of them are older. Some of them are definitely middle-aged. Some of them are the right, early 20s.
Okay.
Middle 20s. But it's a wide mix.
You've got
There's even a few that you would dare say might think of as elderly, especially for this time period. They're probably not going to see battle. They're probably definitely last resort if we need you.
I'll give you a little wave as I set my feet and take my stance. And is this a two-handed sword, one-handed sword?
It's like you're trying to go to war.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's two-handed.
Okay. And adjust my little hands. Dee-dee-dee. I have a sword.
And even if it were one-handed for most people, you are little. This sword's a little awkward.
I thought we were having issues with two-handed swords in this time period. There were very few of them.
There are. It's two-handed for her because she is
Size.
smaller.
Makes sense.
And especially
And-
if it wasn't quite the right size, it's the smallest that they have.
Yeah. Plus, they're made out of things like oak, which is kind of a thick wood.
It's funny because I was thinking about this and I was like, you said it was two-handed. I was like, that makes perfect sense. I was like, wait, we had an issue with this. The only sword I've ever learned how to use was a two-handed sword, but that is not the sword she's learning how to use.
No. They've definitely got Roman short swords, but hers is more like a broadsword.
A D&D long
Yeah.
sword.
Okay. Because of my size, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I think at that point, I will need. Idea, I want you to give me like 10 separate craft checks. Brina, give me like 3, just like dexterity checks, just to see if you're picking up the moves well. I want an intelligence check to see if you are picking up that cantrip. And then Erden, I need a stealth check from you.
Well, he's not trying to be stealthy at the moment. He's gonna
Okay.
He's gonna go to the tent to take off his armor to become sneaky.
Oh, to become... Okay, so we'll hold on. Henry, what are you doing?
Wait, what are the options? I kind of don't know where we went off of from the tent.
So you guys kind of went off to do your own things. I think a few of you watched the bout between Erden and Uther before it promptly ended. Some people had split off from there before that even happened. I mean, Idea went straight to the smithies. So...
Did anyone decide to do the mission, or did everyone just kind of decide that, you know what, it's too high risk?
Which mission are you talking about?
We're waiting for more
What
information.
about going and trying to stopping the assassination attempt?
We are putting that off for the moment to get more information on the timetable.
Yeah, so tonight,
Amber volunteers.
because you had offered. So tonight, Amber, Henry, and Tooth, at the very least, are going to sneak back over to the Saxon sort of lookout post to see if they can gather any more information.
Okay. So we're just kind of waiting for that to happen. Or I guess
Yeah.
all to come up. Okay.
Yeah, and it's late morning at this point, coming into early afternoon, so...
Okay. Well, I would assume that I would be feeling kind of antsy and wanting to do something, so I will go over to the training fields and go talk to the biggest guy I can find. Well, yeah, biggest guy I can find, and ask him to spar. Because the last one I sparred with was our barbarian, and so Nick trying to find somebody new.
Okay.
I've got 10 rolls for you. 5 of them are above 20, and 5 of them are below 20.
I put my 3 in the roleplay.
2 of them are nat 20s.
Wow.
The lowest roll is a 12.
Is it 12?
Yeah, I had 2 12s in there.
The Kimry love you.
Alright. Henry, as you're heading in that direction, so are Boars and Galaban. And then...
You said?
Yeah.
Boars.
Yes, Boars and Galaban. Because they are French, I am going to give them French accents, because I can actually do that. And to make it
Can I
sound
talk to them?
appealing.
Do we speak a common tongue between us?
Yeah, you guys all speak Gulwa. You're all from the same country.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah, these two.
Yeah. They're from the mainland.
Alright. Okay. Well, as we're all heading in the same direction, I will holler to them. I'm like, Thors! Galan! Is that his name? Crap.
Galavan.
Galavan. Gotta write this down.
Galavan. Because he will be who is known as King Ban. He's Lancelot's father.
Oh.
Will be one day.
The Lancelot brave or the chaste? No, Sir Galahad the chaste. Sir Lancelot the brave. Okay.
Yeah, Galahad is Lancelot's son.
Really? Huh. I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
That is like
Yeah.
Intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, after calling to him, I'm like, where are you two headed this evening? Or
Afternoon.
this
We were going to eat the training fields. We haven't had much practice in a few days. You headed that way?
Yeah, yes. Getting a little bit antsy just standing around and don't really do too well with that, so wanting to go a bit distracted by good old-fashioned combat.
Je suis d'accord. I really want to say that. They agree. Just
I'll just kind of like smile slightly unknowingly as they're speaking a language I'm not familiar with, but assuming that they mean well.
that's French. It's Gaulois in this case.
It's Golan, French Golan.
Yeah,
wait,
Gaulois is.
who's Gulwa?
Huh?
Isn't Henry the one that knows Gulwa?
Yep.
Yeah. That's why I said if I say je suis d'accord, he does know what they're saying, even if the player doesn't. Henry does.
Henry does. Tanner does not, so he smiles annoyingly.
They basically just said, yeah, they agree.
Well, how fortuitous. Would you like to spar with me, or are you looking to find a different opponent?
We fight with each other all the time. It'd be nice to have fresh blood.
Well, I'll be fresh, that's for sure, but I don't know how much blood you're going to get out of me.
You don't typically use the weapons, right? You are more of the physical.
My weapons I do have on me, but I usually don't use them unless I'm intending to kill. Don't
So that's Tanner.
work any other way. And at that point, I will kind of show my tungsten knuckle to them. It's a little bit more of a close combat exploding, and not a lot of time to try and dodge.
That is fascinating.
Don't use the
I'm not wait to see that get used on a Saxon.
It's quite effective.
I can imagine. Dan is pretty.
Who would like to go first? Or would you like to do a 2-on-1?
Dan just kind of has this distasteful look on his face, and he just kind of walks off. He doesn't say. Boris is like,
yes, offended your friend.
My brother is very. Let's just say your weapons do not come off as very honorable.
What's an honorable weapon?
Sword. Or bow and arrow. To punch bow and arrow.
Oh.
To punch someone in the face and then have your fist explode in their face feels like cheating to him.
Which is why I don't plan on using them in our little practice. But let's just say, in war, I'll use every advantage I can take.
You can use them on my on Titus here. I think he could use it. Excuse me. That's not funny. I stick it.
Because of course Titus is still there. The Roman. Yeah,
Well.
Quiverius the Virgin and Titus the Roman head.
I
I'm just
don't
like
even use
imagining
them.
them in battle, and he just got like blood in his eye, and he's like, ah, disgusting, Saxon blood,
Contaminated.
it's in my mouth, and I can't get it out. I have no hands. Yes, Cat has been fed. Do not let him lie to you.
Fun.
I even fed him late because he did not finish dinner from the night before. And then Gyarados ate some of it. Anyway,
Well, as you two are in the meeting, what are your thoughts on trying to stop this assassination attempt?
Karina is a nice girl. She should not be in the middle of this. The poor thing has been whipped by our dear boy King. And I don't think she understands just how dangerous he is and how much danger he is putting her in. As nice a girl as she is, she's not the smartest.
Do you think we should help, or are you of the opinion that the risks outweigh the benefits? Or I guess the reality, I should say. The benefits are always there, but whether or not you can do it. The goddess that was mentioned, the lady in white, everyone seems a little bit
Yes.
standoffish.
She's not a big deity where we are from, so I don't particularly know a ton about her. The biggest problem I'm having is that while the Saxons are not a problem to us, I mean, they are from the mainland just like us. They tried to pick a fight with us and then they lost. Like, it was bad. Really bad for them. So they kind of stopped and then went north. This is fair. However, technically, this island is still part of the Western Roman Empire, just like us. So we need to. We're allies, and we are supposed to help each other. And I want to, but also, my father's not really willing to give up the men to help when there's so many problems on the mainland with just the physical and the uns and all that happening. And I get it. That is a more pressing matter for us. It's just, I think part of why he wants to scare us, the Saxons are willing to fight off Silver, in which case he may try to make an alliance. Not sure how I feel about that, because if they're willing to break an alliance with here, I don't really trust them to keep one with us.
Well, I guess you are here, so that means you are willing to hold your word and come help out the alliance. So that's very helpful, and considering you guys have won battles before, then your expertise and your knowledge will definitely help in the coming battle.
Well,
Hopefully.
technically, I was supposed to come back here and tell Caliban to come home, and then both of us were supposed to leave. But, we still have friends, so I'm just, it didn't feel right to leave. So I technically have more done with my foes as.
So you're waiting for Gallahan to make his decision?
Oh,
Or you
no,
guys-
no. We've already decided. We're staying. Like I said, Lusto's off pit. We're not going to just leave him there.
Hmm.
He's done a lot for us. And it only feels right to help him get his kingdom back. It's what he would do for us. So, if the Visigoths come over, gone, and they take over, Usa will definitely come down and, take them out for us. So. Not that I want them to, because then people will die, but I got your back, you got mine.
Mm-hmm.
Very strong.
Friends are hard to find in war and battle, so it's good you guys are here.
Well, on to more exciting things. Shall we battle it out?
Yes. We shall.
Alright. We're gonna pause on them for a moment. Tooth, what are you doing?
I don't really know. To be honest, I don't know what's going on.
We've kind of scattered. I was starting with stuff that was roleplay. That was handed to me a few days ago, and then I got busy. Couldn't answer. So if there's anything in particular that Tooth just wants to do before the night,
Well, he's an Irish leprechaun.
There are other leprechauns in the camp. We've all revealed ourselves as Fae. There were other leprechauns.
Yes.
There
But
are
he's
also
an
many
Irish
she
leprechaun, so
wearers.
he's getting drunk.
Getting drunk, probably causing some various amounts of mischief.
That's what we do.
He has a lot of people he can put rocks in their shoes now.
Oh yeah.
And
That
he
too.
already
He's
has
probably
a
going
limited
around-
supply of alcohol.
he's so small nobody's noticing him teetering around, just dropping pebbles in shoes. And
wanders
Random.
into a couple of the tents and just, oh shoot. There you go.
You know what? Go ahead and roll me a percentage dice.
I'm just thinking about that scripture about it still being morning, so they can't be drunk. And then there's Tooth.
He's Fae. It'll wear off soon.
And now I miss our demigod.
58.
58. Okay. Yeah. So basically you spend the morning wandering around dropping pebbles in shoes, and you manage to get pebbles into 58% of the shoes that you went for without anybody noticing.
Which
I'm just-
important person did he put pebbles in the shoes of this time? Because this is how we met Taliesin, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
No. I took something
Wait,
off
talking
of
about
him.
yes.
Ah, yes.
Yes. Oh, you were so lucky with Taliesin. He would have blasted you into next century.
Emrys would have.
Yeah.
Be gone, tiny leprechaun.
I'm also gonna say that in at least one tent, I shift everything slightly to the left by 1 inch.
That's perfect because for the most part it's not noticeable, but for some reason the trunk is now just a little in front of the door, and it's just enough that if somebody walks in there, they're probably going to stub their toe.
It took him some effort to move that trunk, but he did it.
Give me a strength check real quick. I think technically athletic. Oh, stubbing feet. Okay. Let's see. So
Wouldn't it be funny if he accidentally, in his drunken stupor, did that to his own stuff, like our own tent, and then he walks in and trips over it himself?
Yeah, except we don't have any trunks.
I know.
no.
And Tong was hanging out in the tent for most of the time.
Tooth, roll me a d6.
Not only was Tong in there, but Taliesin was as well.
I know.
Enern's about to walk in.
Everybody's just hanging out in the tent.
Well, not everybody. I'm in Swordsmanship 101.
This is true.
Bunch of peasants.
Or
Making arrowheads.
okay, cool. Noted. All right.
Yeah.
Brino, with your rolls, it's slow coming because it's kind of awkward for you because you're used to things being more fluid and less grounded. This is a very
I'm moving my feet a lot more with my Tayaha than I am with
yeah. This is all about keeping yourself grounded and making sure that you are hard to knock over. So you struggle a bit with it, but gradually you're starting to feel it, and you know kind of where your legs are supposed to be and where your arms are supposed to be, and it starts feeling a little more natural. But it's definitely going to take some time to get used to.
Okay.
All right. So Idea, the 212s, not the best. You're probably gonna have to remelt those and reforge them. They're not the worst, but
Probably not good for the high quality steel we need.
yeah. You didn't quite mix them right, and they didn't turn out the right consistency. The 17s kind of have a weird ring to them as you're like banging them out. They'll work. You may want to reforge them, but it might not. It won't be the end of the world if you don't do it with those.
Mm-hmm.
All the 20s, aside from the 27s, all the 20s, they're really good. They've got the right ring to them. Got a nice shape to them. Nice color to them. They're shiny. The Nat 20s, those ones have just the most beautiful shine to them. They have this angelic ringing to them as you bang them out and get them hardened and everything. And as you're working with them, they're so perfect that they actually, you can feel them sort of it gives this, like, you can't really feel them because you're you're a fae, you're inherently a magical creature, you can, like, feel it repelling your magical aura. It is so well made. And it is a weird feeling. It's like when you stub your toe and it goes numb. It's weird.
Those nat 20s a day, the first time Adea probably knocks one of those out, she's probably like, this thing's vicious.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Whoa. Cadmus will come over and he's going kind of through and he kind of picks the two swabs up and he goes, yeah, those ones we're gonna have to reforge. What happens? Might just want to add a little bit more iron to that. These ones will be fine. And he'll see like one of the perfect ones and he like picks it up and he goes, oh, that feels weird. Oh, I don't like that. But on the bright side, this is gonna make teaching you how to do this really easy. Damn, girl. Okay.
Because that would
I mean, you.
phrase that would be a thing in this era.
Damn, girl. Usually it takes people a few tries before they get him this perfect. But I'll take it. Here.
How hard they are to make, the number of them that turned out good is probably surprisingly high.
Yeah. He'll grab the two ones, and you can kind of see he's like cringing as he holds these, but he deals with it. And then he drops them next to his, and you see almost all of his look like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He's an earth druid, so not only can he just work the metal, but when it's not going the way he wants, he just goes, and moves, he rearranges the molecules the way he wants them, and he's like, there we go, that's what I want.
He can see how they're supposed to look, whereas I have
Oh my
to
gosh, Cadmus is tough!
use expertise to know how
Yes, exactly. Like, when he touches rocks, he can see the crystal structure of everything in there. He knows exactly how they come together and how they break apart. So if he were to take, like, a rock and look at it and hold it, he would be able to find the cleavage plane and break it perfectly.
Cadmus is tough without being blind.
Yeah.
Don't
And-
know.
What are
He's... Don't let Toph know.
No, don't let Tong know, because she's a geologist, as well as an arcanist.
Oh, they're already sending me... Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, so basically, the way magic repulsion spells work is that whatever spells you do know get basically, I wouldn't say imbued, but the steel will recognize that particular type of spell casting, and that's what it's going to repel. So, for example, if they decide they're going to wear fire retardant armor, and Saxons are all about the magic items, and so they're going to be imbuing items with things that'll protect them from natural things or possible magical attacks. So he picks up one of the arrowheads and he goes, basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cast a fireball on this. And so he just kind of nudge, and it just erupts into flame, but it's fast. Like, that thing sucks it up right away, and you can kind of feel the vacuum pressure of this thing just sucking the flame up. Okay. This arrow,
like, makes, because she's so magical, it kind of like makes her hands tingly for a moment.
yes.
Adea's like eagerly watching as she shakes her hands out.
So now this arrow, if it lands on armor that is meant to repel fire, it will soak that up, and so if somebody hits them with another arrow that is supposed to be on fire, they can't protect themselves from it. Or if they get it stuffed out, and then somebody sets the grass on fire next to them, it's going to burn them. It's not protecting them. Make sense?
Adea's mind is just like churning with all of the potential possibilities. What if I cast a fabricate spell on it?
I mean, fire is definitely a favorite one that we do. I've also had it done where it recognizes blood magic. So blood magic is basically anything that's basically fey. So if they've managed to, obviously it's not going to work with the Saxons, we probably won't do that a whole lot, but we've used it against like the Picts, because the Picts are very into blood magic, and basically it just means anything innate. So any innate ability that a Fae has, it could suck that right out.
Adea may be very excited about that, but even to her, that causes her to shiver.
Yeah, it's not our favorite one to use. But we can do it with all kinds of things. We can use it to suck earth magic, air magic, water magic. We use it to break. I guess the most common use for the blood magic is that humans can do blood magic to an extent where they basically attach each other's life forces together. So if somebody gets hurt, they can use power from whoever they're connected to, and so it kind of evens them out. So they both are taking damage, but not as much as you would expect, kind of thing. You can remove that bond using these, which is useful because then they're easier to kill because they're not hooked up to somebody else.
Adea's just like, there's so many ideas of what she could do. So if I cast, thoughts. If I cast a fabricate spell on it, would it cause armor that was put together magically to fall apart?
I don't know. I've never tested this theory, but it may be worth a shot. And you can tell, like, he's got this look on his face, like, we really shouldn't, but also I really want to test this.
What if I casted a spell magic spell on it?
Yes, the Dispel magic does work, because basically you're making a black hole that'll suck any magic within, like, a 10-foot radius around that person. Which means if we do that, we have to be really careful, because we can't touch it after we do that. So basically, we'd have to cast Dispel magic on it as it's flying. And there's ways to make it a... Because normally Dispel magic is not like a, ranged spell.
It says 100.
But we druids have tricks.
I was gonna say Dispel magic says 120 feet.
Is it 120 feet?
Yeah.
Oh, even better. Never mind then. I don't usually use it at a distance. Usually I'm using it like right next to me because I'm like, I don't want you to touch me. Because I'm a spellcaster and I don't have a lot of hit points, so go away.
So, if I used an acidic version of elemental weapon, we could make people vulnerable to poison. Kind of? Or more acid, I guess.
The thing is with acid spells, because I'm an earth druid and I know these things, because why not? If you're good enough and if you learn how to manipulate it, you can change the type of acid that you're using, and so it can dissolve different things because you're using different acid. I've done this before because I changed an acid spell once because somebody was annoying me and I dissolved the limestone cliff he was standing on. It was a cold dive into the ocean he wasn't expecting, but it happened.
If we threw elemental or lightning onto one of these arrowheads, would we make someone into a lightning rod?
We don't need to cast elemental lightning on them to make them into a lightning rod. If they're wearing full plate armor,
They are a lightning
they're a
rod.
lightning rod. It doesn't matter whether you're using magic or not. Metal and lightning, good friends.
We can't match it.
However, if we do it right, we might be able to make it where the lightning hits more people at once.
Like a scatter shot?
Yeah, because it's repelling, so we can get it to repel the lightning and it'll just scatter it in all directions.
How do you make it so you don't hit your own people? Sorry, I know I'm not there.
That's why you shoot it into their side.
Her little shoulder angel is like, but how would that be so that we don't hit our own people?
Yeah, Shoulder Angel isn't here. So if you cast remove curse on it, then somebody else could curse them.
See, that's the nice thing, is that most of the people on your side are going to be wearing leather armor. Which is actually a deadening agent. Lightning. So, even if you get hit, you're not going to be taking as much damage because it's not a conductor. If that makes the shoulder angel feel better.
Steel sword.
And honestly, if we say lightning and everybody jumps, you're not grounded, so you don't want to be grounded when the lightning goes. It'll go right through you. It'll be fine.
What if we cast a sense spell on it? Do they have magical communications? Would it interrupt magical communications?
I love that you're trying to take out the communication line.
Do the
The most
Saxons?
important things in war.
That's why I said it.
Adea is loving the opportunity to use her spells creatively.
I don't know enough about Saxons to know if they have magical means of communication. I know we do. Our air druids actually use the wind to speak to each other. And they have excellent hearing.
So, what is the reverse of a trap? And it's probably not worth making that expensive of an arrow, but hypothetically, if we cast a trap, a magical trap on the arrow, would it trigger traps? Would it?
No, it would just disable magic traps, but they're not going to have anything like that.
Well, that doesn't sound very much fun.
No.
Practical though, but not in this case.
Yeah, honestly, we may just need to go talk to Leoflid and see if they use like amulets or anything for communication. They have any sort of clairvoyant spells. So far, we haven't noticed any clairvoyant attempts to watch us, so I don't think they do, but maybe they only have short range stuff, I don't know. But yeah, so basically that's the options we've got here. So
If we
I'll
cast
let you mess with these ones. I'll take
so dark.
I'll take the other ones that you made and I'll fix them so they work. And so he'll leave you with all of those ones to come up with ideas of what they can repel and so forth. Oh, but before he does leave, so just so that we don't get them confused, the one he's holding, we've got baskets all over here that are labeled. And you'll see that all the baskets are labeled in like 6 different languages, so there's at least one on there that you recognize.
There's probably something Dea recognizes. She knows a few languages.
Yeah. So we've got them labeled for the various things that they do. We've got each of the elements. We've got a few other things. I'm not sure why this one is labeled as last resort. I'm afraid to ask what they did, but there's that as well, I guess. And he'll just like toss the arrowhead into the one that's labeled, fire.
Mm-hmm.
But as you can see, we've got a few on here. So like this one, I mean, you can make the armor brittle. Any of the stuff that like enhances armor, so like bear's endurance and things like that. We've got one that'll remove all that type stuff off of them. They don't get any more bonuses. But yeah, if you come up with anything cool and you don't know where to put it, just come find me and we'll figure it out.
Adea immediately goes looking to find the answer to her last question, which was, if we cast a light spell on one of these, can we put out their lights? So she goes to see if there's any labeled light.
High or low?
Hi.
There is. Look at that.
It's a different spell. Light.
Yep.
It's actually right next to the one labeled light. There's actually one labeled darkness. So if they try to have like a darkness cover spell, you can remove that too.
That's not a spell I know how to cast, but hey, we'll take it.
Fair enough. All right. So with that, I will let you just kind of come up with some creative thoughts. And Tong, what did you roll?
So, I forgot what I was supposed to roll.
Intelligence.
Intelligence.
Intelligence, but was there, adding my Arcana bonus?
Yeah, you can add that.
So, with Arcana, it's an 18.
An 18? Yeah, you're pretty sure that this will be easy enough to figure out. And easy enough in an attempt to cast. Go ahead and just give me an Arcana check now.
That is a 17.
17? Well, looks like you've learned a new cantrip.
Yay! Don't know what I'm going to use it for besides roleplay stuff, but I got it now.
Why not? Alright, and then the other kind of short-ish thing, Erden.
So that particular moment, Turn walks into the tent, already starting to like half take off his armor. It's like, oh hi Tong, how's it going?
Alright, so has she learned it by this point?
Yes, you would have learned it by this point.
Alright, so you would see that Ta has like a silvery thread in her hands. She's got her. I'll close her eyes for a moment. Okay, good. that works. She'll put it off to the side, close her eyes again. Nima, duh. Ah. Well, I suppose I should have gotten my hopes up. Oh. Hello, Godpawn.
Don Bon.
What was the silver stuff that you just tossed away?
I had hoped to use a spell to get rid of my memories of a particular event. However, it is not a... How to put this? I have the spell figured out. It's just it doesn't work the way I hoped it would.
Oh, okay. So, by your thing of removing, you wanted to remove a memory and it doesn't do that?
Well, let me just pull up encode thoughts so that I can accurately describe this to Ruben. Let me see. What it does is that I put my fingers to my head like this, and I pull out a thought or memory or message from my mind. And it transforms into a tangible string you see before you.
It's like the Pensy.
Called a thought strand. The purpose of this was to see if it pulled it permanently or if it just pulled it out at the moment. Looks like it just pulls it out at the moment. I shouldn't be too surprised. It is a cantrip.
I mean, that's pretty powerful for a cantrip.
Well, you would think, except I can only do it on myself. Unless I happen to be casting in a spell that allows me to read the thoughts of others, or modify their memories.
Huh.
Which I am passively working on. The reading people's minds things, sort of.
Pretty useful. You mind if I touch this memory thing you got laying around?
I do mind, and she'll pull her fingers up to her head, pull out another thought strand, and the previous one will disappear.
Oh. I was wondering if you could make like a quilt out of it or something. Or a carpet of memories or whatever.
Well, even if you could have multiple, it would only last for 8 hours.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot more sense. Enern's been taking off his armor this whole time. He puts on his golden helmet. Anyway, wait, you know things about... You're pretty proficient with magic, right?
Proficient, yes.
Cool, because there's a spell I had my eyes on for a while that I was hoping that maybe you might be able to help me out learn one day.
Perhaps. What is this spell?
Well, I'm not sure, but my traveling companion Brina, she had this spell that basically cleaned off blood from some of my
Prestidigitation.
clothes, and And you cleaned off our clothes from that rain one time, so I was wondering if that was the same spell, since it seemed
Yes.
useful.
Yes, it is.
Oh. Is that a pretty simple spell, or?
I mean, it doesn't take any more magical energies that some like to call spell slots. Don't ask me why they call them that.
Okay. Maybe when I'm done with this, would you mind helping me out with that?
Okay, well, I don't see any problems that you can cause with this. Personally.
Cool. Thanks so much. And he'll actually loop around in front of you and grab one of your empty hands and just shake it once, and walk out of the tent.
Well, have
Any,
fun with whatever it is you're going to do.
Oh, I will. And and you see that he actually left his armor and his armor behind next to his back, and the banjo as well.
Let's see, it looks like I have enough time for before lunch. Well, better to know what everyone has, so that if an emergency happens, know who has what. She will rifle through her and stuff.
I'm once more glad I have my stuff with me.
There's a reason that Idea didn't set any of her stuff down.
I'd originally
Our
intended-
party is only mostly trustworthy with other people's stuff.
And Brina had originally intended to leave her stuff, but I think on seeing Idea do that, she's like, yeah, that's probably best to just keep my stuff with me in case I need something.
And Idea cares way too much about her tools.
As you should.
And let's see here. On the way to Uther's tent, he's going to do two things. He's going to activate his helm for its invisibility function.
Yay!
And he's gonna also cast Find Steed.
Find Steed?
Yep.
Okay. I have a very funny image in my head of Tom like digging through all of Eridan's stuff and her tail shaking as she's doing it. She's like burrowing into this stuff.
I'm saving my wild shape uses for the sneaky sneaks.
Well, no, but she has her tails normally.
Yes.
And so I just see her tails like kind of twitching as she's doing this. I see her in her actual regular form, but with her, like, I don't think she's wild shaped. I just see her tails like twitching as she's rifling through. That's all. Jen, you okay?
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I just said anything in a bit. I'm like, are you listening?
I got sent a bunch of possible tutoring jobs, so I was
Okay.
looking at them while they were
Real fine.
harping.
Makes sense.
Because I need money.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so have you left the tent?
Yes.
Or you? Okay. Alright. So what are you doing once you get to Uther's big red tent?
Well, just double check. Has the spell Find Steed worked in the human realm?
Ooh. What's going on here? Roll me a percentage die.
Okay. 86.
Dang.
86. You haven't felt this kind of power anywhere except in the druids, the druid circle. So you're guessing there's enough magical power right here that it's actually working for once outside of the normal realms of possibility. It's not perfect, but hey, it's working pretty much like it should. So,
And as the horse, and Ern does this out of the sight of other people, so as his horse appears, he'll just wrap his arms around the neck and say, "Thunderclap! So nice to see you again." Kind of like slowly rubs his hand over the mane.
okay.
Why am I stuck in Swordplay 101? I want to meet the horse.
I'm actually gonna be right back. I drank a lot of water. I gotta pee.
Go for it.
Alright.
Okay, so Erdin, what did
Finally.
you find?
His first Thunderclap's first actual appearance. Like, just so happy
Has he been
about
part
this.
of your character the whole time?
Huh?
Has he been like part of your character the whole time?
Kind of just as a tertiary note. Kind of like, I have the Spellfind Steed. His name's Thunderclap. He's silver gray. And because of the spell, he's completely loyal and everything, and also just sticks around after you summon him, so...
He sounds awesome!
It has an intelligence score of 6 because of the spell, so it's actually far more intelligent than other horses.
I'm gonna have way too much fun talking to him.
And also, there's also a telepathic link within a mile, so I can just do whatever the hell I want.
Because you will probably have to do the role playing because it's actually part of your character. Can Brina talk to him at some point? Please?
Oh, absolutely. No, after this, I plan on Ern just having him walk to the stables.
Did you hear that? She called me a noble.
Alright, in the Explorers pack is the average Explorer stuff you find. You get through Taliesin first.
I know you're not starving.
Occasional coins.
And if you are, it's your own fault.
His herbalism kit, blanket,
Erdin's telling Tom.
music award. See here,
Forgot
you
had
push
that.
the banjo aside. If you open, do you bother opening the tinderbox at all?
No. Just
Okay.
figures it's a tinderbox. It's not a tinder.
Let's see here. One of the alpaca ponchos. A couple of mixed cooking ingredients that are rather exotic, other than the sugar. Pencil, paper, his desert type armor. You'll see paper written in Druidic, or Brythonic.
What are you doing?
And a plushie of Tong in fox form.
Why are you smacking me?
Alright.
How did you get a plush song into box form?
Tooth pulled
Tooth.
it out when it...
Right. Forgot about that.
Yep.
Always tooth.
Why do I have to, like, I can just imagine, sorry, I should not be role-playing your character, Arthur, but I can just imagine Tom, like, looking at this plush, she's like, is this me?
She definitely stops. What the hell?
It has the right tails.
It has the right tails. It has the burn marks in the right places.
Have we disturbed a tongue?
This
That
is
isn't a
just
question.
too
Also-
eerie.
Also, a few perfectly fine baguettes. But one of them's half eaten.
Happy and back.
And she will put it all back, being very reverent with the wish scroll.
Oh no, Erden didn't keep the wish scroll in there. He's
No?
keeping it on himself.
Alright, well, if it was, she would have been very reverent with it. And she'll put it all back. Considers whether or not to steal and hide the fox plushie. Because this is just creepy. But she decides to put it back.
Oh, could you bring me a cheese stick on your? That's really good.
Rude cat. Anyway. So I've already spaced because we were talking about, I guess, what was in your bag. What were you doing?
Alright, Ern summoned his horse Thunderclap, and he's now going to have it. He's now going to walk alongside it while invisible, using the horse's own just presence, kind of part the way, as it were, for him to just walk alongside while invisible. And then, as he gets to Uther's tent, he's gonna have Thunderclap go to the front while he goes to the back.
Okay.
Because a random gray horse in front of Uther's tent is going to be so normal.
Yeah.
So there's two guards in front of the tent. Wow. And unfortunately, both of them recognize that as a magic horse. And they kind of like, huh? I mean, one of them rolled a nat 18, so... And while they're basic soldiers and don't have a lot of bonuses, the other one rolled high enough that when the nat 18 goes, that's a magic horse, he's like, well, you're right, it is. So they're both kind of like looking around.
I mean, I guess it's unusual to see just a random war horse that you don't recognize wandering around.
What is your passive stealth?
Is that a thing?
Is that just...
That would be 10 plus your stealth bonus. And since you are considered... If you're invisible, you would have advantage on stealth checks, which would... for passive skills is a +5.
So 15.
The nat 18 guy, he rolled a nat 16.
Oh, for frick's sake.
Wavy little outline as you're trying to sneak away, and he goes, hey, who are you? What are you doing? The other guy's like...
gonna try hiding.
The other guy's like, who the hell are you screaming at? Because he rolled a nat 15. So...
These are some really exemplary guards.
No wonder they're in front of Uther's tent.
They're protecting the Pendragon.
Aurelius probably put them in front of Uther's tent.
Yeah, Aurelius probably has trust issues over Uther.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna put my best guys on you just in case.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that's happening here.
Somebody's already tried to set you on fire once. I'm not gonna do it again. Okay.
I'll at least have Thunderclap bother the kind of nudge the one that's a little confused, like, hey, I want your attention, please.
Can I have a carrot?
Pretty effective. Being nudged by a horse, even if, you know, like, they're big animals, it's like, hi, and he's just like, oh, hello. Okay, let's see if you can hide from this guy.
episode.
Let us hide.
Oh. Natural 20. The only way this was going to work.
So the guy who noticed you comes over, totally looks right through you. Definitely rolled a nat 2. It's just like, what? The other guy comes around and he's like, what are you doing? And the horse is like still nudging him, like, what are you doing?
Oh no, the horse kind of just follows him. He doesn't nudge him too much. Like, so are you? What you looking at?
The other guy's just like, I swear I saw somebody invisible come over here, and he's just like, are you sure you're not seeing things? Like, totally gaslighting him. Like, she's like,
no,
you know what? He was invisible. So he takes his sword and he starts swinging it.
Actually, and I'll have Thunderclap do like try and do a sarcastic snort when he says invisible.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a. The one guy who thought you saw you start swinging his sword wildly. Oh, and he's at disadvantage because he can't see you, and he rolled a nat 1, so you're just like, who? Don't hit me!
Kind of just tiptoeing around, just like, yeah, no, I'm not dealing with this.
The other guy's like, yeah, definitely think you saw something. Sure, maybe it went around the other way. And so he starts heading around the other side of the tent. Because, like, they know it's a magical horse. It's not just gonna show up out of nowhere.
And the horse actually follows the other guy, like, yeah, he's got it right. That he'll snort at the gaslight one first.
Just, like, flicks his tail. He's looking less than amused. He starts following the other one. He's like, I'm pretty sure I saw it go this way, but I mean, I'm not hitting anything, so unless he's, like, incorporeal. Are ghosts a thing? I swear I saw some. The other guy's like, I don't think so. Not seeing anything over here either. Well, if they're invisible, you're not going to see them. Okay, and you can hear him, like, whacking the bush over there. There's nobody here!
Have these two soldiers forgotten that there's actual leprechauns in the camp?
Yes. I have a feeling the answer to that is yes.
Yes. Yes, they have. We got a 6 and a 9. I forgot about the leprechauns. To be fair, that was only like a day ago, 2 days ago, that they found out there were even Fae among them, so like...
They're not here to defend against the leprechauns. They're here to defend against Uther doing something stupid.
And somebody breaking into his tent.
Or somebody breaking into his tent to
It could
do
also be that they just weren't there on the announcement.
What, Arthur?
It could be that they weren't there at the announcement.
That's a possibility.
Alright, well, you are free to sneak in the back if you want.
I will. And I'll actually have a Thunderclap kind of approach the front to kind of doing a feigning curiosity kind of thing to get them back on track.
Oh, you're gonna do a what to keep them off?
I'm gonna have Thunderclap go approach the front of the tent flap out of curiosity, kind of like, what's in here?
Hey, don't go in there. No animals allowed. As he's doing that, you slide in, and so it's kind of set up. There's like actually, he has actually like cut out a hole and like sewn it sort of shut-ish so that it looks like there isn't a door, but he definitely cut a flap to sneak out the back. Uther has put an invisible door in the back of his tent. And as you come in, you walk straight into the bed. The bed's just bam. And you're surprised that there's an actual bed in there, but there is an actual bed in there. And you have strong suspicions that Will made that bed. And in fact, give me an Acrobatics.
Acrobatics. Okay. It's a 14.
So you
Would
run
that
into the
fall
bed and
athletics?
huh?
Would that fall
No,
under
no, no.
athletics?
Because acrobatics is your dexterity. Yeah, we're
Okay,
seeing
yeah.
how much you run into this bed, really, because you didn't know it was there. Like, how much are you able to catch yourself? So there's definitely a thunk as you hit it, but they don't seem to notice. They seem to still be distracted by a thunderclap. You barely managed to get past that one who's like really on alert. He got a 13. He's really on top of this. Actually, in fact, it's so close. He goes, "Did you hear that? Yeah, that's the horse stomping on my foot." No, I swear. Would you stop with your imaginary invisible people and your imaginary sounds and get rid of the damn horse?
That is now on my foot. Move, animal, move.
Alright. You've officially got in there. There is a wardrobe in there as well that probably has his belts in it.
I guess I'm gonna look in there. Actually, I'm gonna stand off to the side and slowly open it.
It opens. Moth flies out.
Oh, thank goodness. That didn't happen again. And, what's this? Ern will actually try and look for a belt that's both durable and the second best looking.
He's got like 5 or 6 belts in there. Pretty much all of them are made of leather. There is one that does seem to be made more of linen that he probably wears when he's relaxing. But they're all in pretty good condition. No. Three out of the 5 look to be about the same quality, that same upper quality, so probably taking any one of those 3 will be fine.
Alright. I'll take one of them and just immediately replace the one that's broken. And then I'll take the other 5 and hide them in the tents in random places. and try and search for the best place for the linen one.
He does have a trunk in there. There's a wooden tub that's a wooden barrel thing that's probably his bathtub. He's got several pairs of boots at the foot of his bed. And it looks like they're varying types. There's the soft leather boots that you normally just wear when you're not doing anything pressing. There's riding boots. And he's got these weird boots that look kind of rubbery that might actually repel water.
Uther has galoshes.
There are many opportunities here.
If we hit them with one of these.
So,
with
Ern first.
There's also a table, like a sort of desk-like thing in there with a small chair that has paperwork scattered all over it. A lot of that paperwork has doodles on it.
I'm not surprised that it's 1 scattered and 2 has doodle on it.
Kind of reminds me of my college notes.
I'll leave 1 belt in the wardrobe. I'll put 1 wrapped around the bathtub, I'll take some of the wax, either something that's in the tent or from one of the candles I have, and stick it underneath the table. I'll then actually that'll be what the where the linen one is set at, and the last two will be placed conveniently on the bed, and then one of them in one of the left, and one in the writing boot's left boot, because he's gonna take the right and then take every other shoe so that he has a matching set, but they're different, and then place them randomly around. I actually put the water repellent one in the tub and hide the remaining.
He's a better Fae than most of us.
And you'll just write on he'll write next to one of the doodles. It is actually pretty good. Shame Karma's a bitch.
Excellent. You have successfully rearranged his room.
And Ern will just sneak out. And actually, about halfway through Ern's arranging, he'll actually have Thunderclap leave the two guards alone and wander towards the stables.
Okay.
Would he have to go past the training ground to get to the stables, Jen?
Huh?
Would Thunderclap have to go past the training grounds to get to the stables?
Yes, you would.
Can I roll perception, please?
Raina gets distracted by a horse during Swordplay 101.
What's your passive?
11.
I mean, he's a big old horse. He's gonna be hard to miss.
I'm just watching the horse. I have a feeling I might fall over if I watch the horse try and be planted with this sword that's too big for me and watch the horse go by.
Oh yeah, no, any teacher would take advantage and knock you over.
Whack.
That's probably what the 9 was.
Constant
That's
vigilance.
probably what the 9 was. Focus, little one. Focus. All right.
And actually, with Thunderclap being vaguely intelligent, he'll just be like wandering around, looking at several things. Like, oh, this is interesting. Ooh, this might be a great place to get food later.
I mean, horses are vaguely intelligent. It's really funny when you watch them going, "Oh, what is this?" and then they start sticking their lip out. They're like, just like stop. I must feel you with my mouth. All right.
The stats of horses, and apparently I have 2 intelligence. Yeah, the intelligence score of 2, but Fine Steed gives it an intelligence score of 6.
Nice.
It's a smart horse.
Jen, I had
That's
actually
right,
wanted to roll perception anyway because I wanted to see how well the other students in my class are doing.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Well, thankfully, I already rolled it. So, perception is... I have a 13.
Ooh, they're pretty below average, this bunch. It's clear by the way a lot of them work. These guys are used to wielding pitchforks and scythes. You know, they're farmers. They're not built for this. And you can tell just kind of by looking at them. I mean, you've been traveling with people who are actually fighters. These guys do not have the muscle mass to lift a real steel weapon. A real iron weapon. Like, it's gonna be heavy for them. And they're already struggling with the wooden ones.
I'm going to, like, place my sword tipped down and have, like, one hand on the hilt so that it doesn't fall over. But, Prince Urian, might I make a suggestion?
Of course. I always take suggestions. What do you have?
Well, the other soldiers are trying their best, but I've traveled with fighters. They're not going to be able to handle the swords as well as you'd like them to, even if they're getting their stance correct. Wouldn't it be better to maybe have them try a different weapon?
The problem is, they don't have the dexterity to do bow and arrow, and it would be much more dangerous to give them one of those. Don't worry. We start with stances, we move our way up. Once they figured everything out, then we give them the real sword, and we work our way up to just kind of building the muscle mass. Trust me, we all start there. I realize this is going to be a long process, but we work with what we've got.
Would I know these farming implements?
If maybe shaped and built a little different.
Mm-hmm.
There is not a lot of open space where you're from to actually farm. You guys generally you harvest from the wild plant life that's already there. You just kind of rely on what the world already gives you.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of, I mean, you guys will help the breeding of the trees and other things along as best you can. But the whole farming thing is kind of a foreign concept.
Okay. But I can. Would I have any idea that what they would normally be using is similar in essence to my Tayaha?
The pitchfork maybe, the scythe is very, very different.
Well, yeah, but because my thing is that, so I'll kind of give a little curtsy. It's like, I understand that, Prince Urian. But if we're needing to move quickly, we might need to just switch up the tactic of weapons. And I'm going to pull out my Tayaha and show it to him. It's like, my people use these. You have to be quick on your feet, but you can keep enemies away from you. You can conk them in the head with it. You can stab at them with it. This is something that I know how to use very well, even though I'm a bard and I don't really fight terribly much. But I did manage to kill off a bog person that was attacking Rada in Denmark, or well, wherever that was. Denmark, because I can't remember the name of the land that we were going for. Do any of the soldiers notice what I'm holding and show any reaction of familiarity?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Let's. No, they're not really. They're kind of cocking their heads and looking at you. They're also, can't understand you, so, on top of that, they're like. But no, they're not. There's no recognition in anybody's eyes. I see where you're coming from. Unfortunately, I'm not really in charge of the lesson plans per se. You may want to take it up with Gorlois.
Okay, I know him. And I can at least
But
talk to him.
I'm just sort of doing what I'm told,
Okay,
as we are all want to do.
that makes sense.
He has leadership, but he is not the highest leader.
He is but a prince. And unfortunately, the prince does not outrank the duke in this case.
And I am but a bard.
Hi.
Yeah, because I kind of start moving.
But
But a bard? Butter?
But-
Why do we get butter?
never mind.
What are you talking about?
You said butterbard and it made me think of butter. I don't know.
Apparently, burrito's not made out of butter.
They go great with bread.
I like bread and butter. I like toast and jam.
Somebody's buttering up the bard, but that's no good either.
And I would just have this image of this big piece of butter melting down my head.
Right.
But I'm just kind of moving it around my my Tayaha around to kind of show him kind of what I'm talking about. It's like, Idea has her spear. Would spears maybe work? They're a little bit. They might be easier to handle. But if Gorlewis is the one in charge, I'll recommend it. And
Yeah, I'd just see what he would suggest. I don't know if there are other people around here teaching others how to use different weapons. I would assume I'm not the only one teaching, because this is not a very big class.
Sure.
Yeah, it may just be that there are various ones and they just sort of picked which one they wanted to do. Did you guys just pick this, or were you assigned here? There's just like a general muttering. It looks like they were assigned here, so, yes. There's probably other teachers. I don't know if they're all teaching sword. Again, though, if you know Dugoros, he's the one who would have all the answers. He's the one who had it all set up.
Okay.
But I appreciate the concern. For I, too, am very concerned. You guys ever seen that 70s show?
Yes.
All I can think of is Red, where he's just like, we're all screwed.
We're about to put panic on some more people's faces. Adea knows what she wants to do with the remaining arrowheads. She has to pick what to do with.
Do I need to be a
Go-
Golden Angel again?
Going through her list of spells, she realizes that she knows what's going to happen with most of them, but she picked up very clearly that we have no clue what will happen if we cast a Fabricate spell on it, but it could be fun. She also knows that she made most of her armor magically, so she backs up, taking advantage of the range of Fabricate, which probably draws some attention as she starts walking away and preparing. About 60 feet away, decides to cast Fabricate on the arrowhead.
Cadmus is just watching from where you can see he's like holding one of the arrows in his hand, and he seems, when he's working, he talks to his work. It's like he's talking to a child. He's like, yes, you can do it, just like this, right there. Oh yes, exactly, perfect. You know, like he's encouraging it to go right where he wants it, and he stops and he's watching. And he's like, what are you doing? Should I be worried?
I don't know. We're gonna learn something new.
All right. So you cast it on there. What are you gonna do once you cast it on there?
If it doesn't immediately react, the Dea has to figure out what it's going to do, if anything. So,
Okay.
the first plan was to see if anything immediately obvious happens. Something falls.
No, nothing immediately happens. It kind of glows as you cast the spell, and then it just kind of goes back to looking like an arrowhead.
Huh. Well, now I really don't know what's going to happen.
One of the smithies walks past it to go put something in one of the baskets. It looks like maybe he was making some arrowheads too, and he was going to go put it in one of the baskets over there. Walks past your arrow, and you watch as promptly the sort of metal contraption that he's wearing comes unclasped and just falls apart. Just sits down and goes, what?
It didn't even strike him. It just has to be within range.
He was like 2 feet from it.
Best uses of a level 4 spell slot.
He's like, what did you do? And Cadmus has lost like all concentration on what he's doing, and he's just like busted out laughing, and he goes, Did you put the Fabricate spell on that?
I did.
Oh man.
I'm not going anywhere near that thing.
I can't either. Hand him his can! Hold on. It sits down what he's working on, and he undoes the armor that he's wearing. He's not wearing anything like big and bulky. He's got this leather armor on, but he takes it off, and then he like slides a few rings off of his hand, and then he takes his boots off, and then he walks over and he's just like, okay, last resort bucket that is.
There are only two responses whenever you're asking a day if it's safe. Short answer, no. Short answer, very no.
Dave, I mean,
I'm just imagining now, like, this is the fastest way for somebody to de-pants an entire army. Just running and their pants all fall down their ankles, and there's just like this wave of just as everybody falls over.
That would make things very awkward. Hard to fight.
A little bit.
Actually, if you could get the arrowhead to shatter everywhere, I could see that. I absolutely have the name.
That was perfect.
I mean, there are ways to make steel shatter. It involves certain frequencies, but
Ooh.
Get the air to
Design an arrow that whistles at this right frequency.
oh, burst some eardrums. All right,
Military grade tinnitus.
all right. All right. We're gonna choose. We're gonna move this last bit to Henry and
Boars.
Boars. All right, Henry. I need an initiative roll from you.
18.
18. I think I got. Whoop! I went to the wrong one. Go away. Go away. This one.
Slots are only fun if you use them.
I got a 20.
Oh, you go first.
I do. He may have a +5 to his dex.
Ooh.
All right. So
An even match then.
he's got his sword and a shield, and
They will appreciate that.
oh, excellent. So basically, he's gonna just lunge for you, kind of do a feint. Oh, and he's going to get a 27.
What did he nat? Almost nat 19 there or something?
18.
Oh. His modifier is a +9? Fetch.
Yeah.
God. Class.
I think around
He's a high level fighter.
He's a
He's
what?
been doing this his whole life.
Nice. I mean, I have two, but probably not as long.
I mean, he's also a prince, so he's had like the best of the best.
Oh, man. All I had it well on his
And he's going to, let's see, what is it? D8.
D8. Oh, this is going to hurt.
Oh, no, that's only a 6 piercing damage. But he's also got multi-attack. Oh, and he's going to 18 you again. At 18, wow. I like this dice.
Yeah.
But he's gonna do another 6 damage with that one. So basically, he feints you twice. And manages... Basically, he's smacking you with the broadside of the sword, so he's not cutting you.
Oh, nice. Mm-hmm.
So he's just bruising you at this point. And the way he's doing it, so he's feinting, and he is smacking you on both butt cheeks.
Oh, what a... Oh. Nice, nice. So he's bruising my buttocks, huh?
Yep. There's nothing worse than a bruised butt.
Oh.
And I would know. I cracked my tailbone once. I don't recommend. And I did it falling off a bunk bed.
No, it's no fun at all. So 12 damage in total?
Yep. And a bruised ego.
Bruised ego. Alright. I am going to retaliate.
I assume you were doing everything non-lethal.
Non-lethal, yeah. Just basic stuff. So 21, modified 21, I guess.
Yep, that'll hit.
That'll hit. Nice. And then that will be a... Oh, wow. That will be 8 and 3, which is 12. So I do 12, and one of the armaments I have gives me +3 back to my health on this turn.
Nice.
Nice. So now
You guys are pretty evenly matched. Look at that.
All right. And so yeah, hit him back for 12.
Yeah, so he smacks you, and you just kind of are able to use that momentum to kind of swing out and kick him, and you kind of hit him in the shin. He's like, oh, okay, I deserve that. Feels great. Love it. Okay.
Love the pain. Feel the pain.
Well, yeah. I was only a 16 that time.
That does not hit. But I guess modified? Or
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, modified. Dang.
Yeah, I only rolled a 7.
That'll do.
So yeah, you nailed him in the shin, and so he's having because he can't get himself grounded. He's having a hard time because he doesn't want to put weight on that. His second swing though is a 19.
That will hit.
So that'll be. Doing the wrong one. Yeah. 7 damage. He decides to go ahead and pay you back and kind of whack you in the shin. Feels great, doesn't it?
And then I will kind of like hop up on one foot and then switch and do a high kick to his noggin. See if it works. 23.
Yeah, that'll.
Alright. 5 and 19.
Wow. Ouch, yeah.
Boris now has a serious headache.
He definitely will hit the ground. Just kind of like, whoa. He's reeling a little bit. But he's got maneuvers, so he's going to take his sword, swing. Wait, what am I? Where? Oh, okay. It's you. So he's going to swing at your feet, and I need you to make a strength save.
Strength save?
Yep.
Alright then. Strength save. 8.
Oh, excellent. He clocks you in the ankles, and he takes your feet out from under you, and you fall prone next to him. And he will use half his movement to stand back up.
Okay.
And boo boo boo.
Sweep the leg.
It was the perfect timing. He got the high kick and swept you while you weren't back down.
As I was trying to regain my balance and get back into position, he swept.
He also can still hit you. Whoops.
Now he's
Well, the net 16 plus 9, so I assume that hits.
Yep, yeah, that one hits.
So he knocks you prone, and then He bops you on the head with the hilt of his sword for another 7 damage. Yeah, he just lets it drop with all his strength, just like. Oh.
Good thing I'm at thorns, right?
We're gonna need some concussion specialists over here stats.
Right?
Somebody's about to go get a day, and she's not going to be happy.
Someone find Rada from her prayer circle.
Yeah, somebody find
Yeah.
Rada. Mama Rada! I have a feeling I'm probably the closest to watching.
What's gonna happen is that Rada she's praying until she gets an answer. She's not gonna hear from Hypno. She's gonna get this, like, feeling from the Lady of the Lake where it's like, your friends are trying to kill each other.
Don't worry. We'll stop before you know.
Doing this time.
He's out and lost.
You just get this impression of concussion and you're like, oh no.
Damn it! What did Aaron do this time?
It must be not Aaron. What? Total shock and surprise. What do you mean it's not Aaron? It's always Aaron.
Actually, because of what I just rolled, because I definitely got a nat 20, you definitely just suddenly feel concussion, and you're like, whoa! Like, strong feeling of concussion.
Yeah. Oh, where are the stars? It's still morning. There shouldn't be stars out right now.
Really? I was seeing twittering birds.
I will shake my head a little bit as I'm trying to clear it, and then I will go for a kind of like a spinning 2-kick, going for his legs to get him back on the ground.
Do you really think spinning is a good idea right now?
I don't. I mean,
Spinning, that's a good trick.
Overrated.
I mean, I'm on my back. I might as well use where I'm at to try and do it. First one is a 17. Second one was a 24.
The first one will miss, the second one will hit. So he sees you coming and he jumps over it, but he doesn't quite make the land as you spin faster than he expects and clock him the second time.
Nice.
How close am I to this fight?
Not terribly. They're actually on, like, a field. You're just kind of out in the open.
Okay.
So that
Further
is
in.
another 12, and I can heal myself for 4.
Okay.
And so, will this knock him over, or will he be able to get his footing?
Unfortunately, it doesn't knock him over unless you have the trip. Unless you can, like, do a trip maneuver. That's what he did.
I don't know if I have that, so...
He's Battle Master Fighter. You wouldn't. Since you're
Yeah, probably not.
Unless
Nope.
you took a feat.
No, I don't think so. I mean, once I'm grappling with people, I attack at advantage, but that's about it. All right, let's see. Turn away. Can I still move, or is that?
Yeah, you still got your movement.
All right, and I will also, as I'm kicking and I hit him once, I will push off and jump back up. Land on my feet.
Henry is breakdance fighting.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
And
That's what I was
modify
thinking.
20 for dexterity.
Oh yeah, you're definitely able to just pop back up on your feet. While you're doing that, he swings, misses. The second one, though, is another nat 16.
Good for
Ooh.
him.
This time, he does full damage.
Ooh.
So a total of 13, and he just whacks you right in the ribs as you land on your feet.
Oh.
Oh, bruised ribs don't feel good.
Nope. They hurt. I will wince a little. So that's about it.
As I say, keep track of when you get to half health, because we're doing non-lethal. Once you get there, basically once you get to half, you've basically gotten to the point where you can go without it turning deadly.
Alright, well, I'll do my best to stay above it.
Basically, whoever makes it to half health first is going to be the one who taps out and is like, okay, we're done.
with the pain surging through my body,
We don't want internal bleeding.
a little more serious, I will do the same and spend a key point to double up my attacks. I get 22, 10, 12, and 24. So luckily, 2 hit land out of the 4.
Nice. Quite solidly.
Honestly, Henry's the real unsung hero of the whole party. He's just a hitter.
It's just like, hi.
Oh, so
We don't have a real fighter. We have a monk, and
Yeah,
he is
he's
amazing.
Elliot. He
Yeah.
can take hits and give them out.
Alright, so this is a lot of max rolls, so let's see.
Wow. Okay.
38 damage.
Ooh.
30 of that I can heal myself with.
Oh man. Damn.
Indeed.
So I look like I'm back to being spry and kipper. And where's he at?
Very bruised and battered. He's definitely got a bleeding lip. Might be
So
some blood
he-
coming out of one of his ears and one of his nostrils too.
So that he hits me in the ribs. I kind of fold my arm on his sword, broadside, do a spinning back kick across the side of his face, whilst letting go of the sword, and then uppercutting him.
Oof. Ouch. Okay.
Please tell me Galaman is watching this.
Oh, he's just came back with the popcorn. Wow, this is actually pretty entertaining. New Blood really doesn't last this long.
Okay. So, his first attack doesn't land because he's trying to get the sword away from you without slicing you. But the second one is 24.
Ouch.
And basically what he's doing in this time is instead of using his sword, because his sword is stuck, he is shield bashing you
Ow.
for 11 damage. So he's literally just trying to knock his sword loose from your grip.
That makes sense.
And he doesn't have one of those little round Saxon shields. No, he has one of the big, like, Roman style shields. You know, the tower shields that they use to protect themselves, so it lacks, like, the entire length of your body down to your knees.
So I'm like, whew, do I
There's a
stay
little
on
bit of ringing in your ears.
Ow, 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 ow.
Yep. All right, I will back up a little, kind of get my footing, not necessarily disengaging, but kind of looking at everything, and then 18 and a 22 for
Yep.
my neck.
Yeah, they'll both hit.
14
Damage?
So, yeah, 14 damage for both. I mean, for combined. Yeah, 17 each.
I got what you're saying.
14 total.
Mhm.
Boris has a ton of health. He hasn't tapped out yet after taking 36 in one round
Okay, good point.
I really thought he would get close.
already.
I'm pretty sure I've done my health to him in damage.
Because that's not
Achievement get.
It's not.
Alright, so he's gonna go ahead. Just start swinging again. We got a 23.
Still not out.
Ooh, a nat 19. Ooh, that's a crit. And he's gonna action surge.
Ooh, this is gonna hurt.
That's a 20. And oh, I fell out of the box. And then another 23.
I feel like he may kill me on this one.
Russ, losing.
I'm gonna die.
It was nice knowing you, Henry.
One-way ticket to the afterlife. He's about to punch it.
Okay, I gotta. Oh.
Too many dice.
When the DM just throws out their dice bag. It does 348 damage. And then
No,
piercing.
it's only 38.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm definitely below half health.
So basically, what he does is he manages to get his sword free. He whacks you on one side. He shield bashes you, whacks you from on top, and then he shield bashes you again, and you just kind of collapse.
Mhm.
You okay?
I'll slowly stumble to my feet, my eyes slightly crossed, and looking like I'm looking to somebody to his left-hand side, going, I can still go. I'm pretty sure I can get all three of you.
Oh, no, mon ami. We're going to go get you patched up now. I think we both need it. Goodbye.
I'll be like, and I'll attempt to pat him on the shoulder, but I'll just be swatting the air, as I'm not sure which one he is.
You were like 9 hit points from knocking him below half, though.
Dang! I
You
should have
guys
went
were
all out.
so close. Like- So you're both kind of like leaning on each other and like walking towards the
medical tent.
the med tent.
Medic.
And I have a feeling that they're going to be.
And I will say, as you're heading towards the med tent, because of where it's positioned, Brina, you will be able to see them if you look up and you're like watching.
Now what has Henry gone and done?
He made a new friend.
Brothers in arms.
No,
He made a brand new.
I'm just like, okay, Boris and Henry are like not. Prince Urian, might I be excused to go see what the heck just happened to my comrades?
Sure. Have fun.
Thank you.
See you later.
And I'm going to run off on my little legs after them. Boris, do I catch up to them?
Oh yeah, they're not moving very fast. They're very hurt.
Their movement speed is lower than yours. That's for sure.
Which is saying something because I'm a gnome.
We're taking it easy. We're going slow. I'm pretty sure I may have fractured a couple of bones in my legs.
More than likely, it's ribs. You guys did take some heavy bruising to the shin, and I know you guys have all whacked your shin at some point.
It hurts.
It does not feel good for a long time.
Soccer players wear shorts.
Hey, I was playing soccer in elementary school one time, and I got kicked under the shin guard.
Ugh.
Oh,
Ow.
that would hurt.
And with cleats. Oh.
Well, luckily it wasn't like anything like seriously. It was just like the after-school practice, but still,
Ooh. I have definitely whacked my shin with a rock hammer before.
Ooh. Ow. Oh, my shins hurt now.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I've whacked my shins on the hitch to a car.
Oh, I've done that too.
Yeah, it's.
I think
Have you ever done it? Have you ever done it on the wheelers at like Walmart?
No.
The number of times I've whacked my shins on the metal wheelers at the grocery store.
I did that once. That sucks.
Like the ones on the cart.
Oh yeah.
Gosh, I hate
Those-
that thing. It's horrible.
Those stupid little carts. I always whack the base of my shin on those because the way they have that basket set up, it's like just the wrong spot.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
I must have fortunate shins. I can't recall very many times that I've smacked my shins on things.
Then I hope our future children inherit your abilities and not mine.
I'm just proud that I've never broken it. But the number of times I've smacked it on really hard things. Got some really resilient leg bones. Thank goodness.
So I obviously catch up to them.
I can't afford to break more bones.
Well, I mean, the only bone I've broken, like, the doctor couldn't do anything anyway because it was my toe bone. Like, what are they gonna do? Put me in a boot? So I was like, eh. And now, it's really funny, so when I put my feet next to each other, I got one normal foot and the other one goes like this. Because the toe broke and just kind of set that way. Which makes putting on certain shoes not as comfy anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it, like, really rubs on, like, this part of my foot
Mm-hmm.
because of the way the toe is bent. Kind of sticks it out. On the other hand, when people notice it, it gives, fun story time. I'd like to add that the one time I broke a bone and the one time I cracked one, both times trying to get out of a bed.
Oh.
Second
I
most
broke
deadliest
my leg in
thing.
college taking an extra step off the bottom of a set of stairs.
Oh.
One of my friends from high school broke her pinky toe going up a set of stairs.
I was going down the stairs and I thought that there was another step there because I was concentrating on my lunch in my hands.
Oh yeah, because that was when you were in college.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that jarring feeling you get when you take that extra step and there's not a step there, I had enough momentum going, it pitched me forward and my leg twisted. And so it was a spiral fracture right above my right ankle. In 2 places it broke. But it didn't, like, I thought I had just massively sprained my ankle. They didn't actually know I'd broken it until they wheeled me, one of the guys at the university center wheeled me over to the Curry Health Center on U of M campus, and they x-rayed it because I had enough swelling. And they're like, you broke your leg. I what? Pardon me, what? What do you mean I broke my leg? It was the first time I've ever broken a bone. I mean, I had my jaw surgically broken in high school, but that was completely different. That was planned for. And this was 3 weeks before the end of the semester. So I had finals and tests. I lived on the 4th floor of my dorm and I had a lofted bed.
One of the people I work with in the factory broke.
You just did not have a great setup.
I think at the bottom of the stairs and not being at the bottom of the stairs.
Oh, that.
So, I don't think I've ever broken a bone, but I'm pretty sure I bruised a bone. Because my sophomore year of high school, I had the intrusive thought to jump off the bleachers when my partner hit the badminton birdie up on top of the bleachers. And my brain was like, yeah, jump. So I did. So I did the whole gym. And then I'm pretty sure I bruised the ball of my foot because I didn't have a bruise, but it hurt to walk on it. So I'm pretty sure I did a bone bruise.
But if I had a CT scan of your bone, I could tell you whether you had injured it or not.
I don't.
I know what bone remodeling looks like, so.
The perks of being a paleontologist.
You can be a bone doctor.
Kind of.
It's true. A lot of paleontologists will teach anatomy because they have to know it so well that a lot of them teach like basic anatomy courses or even like high level anatomy courses that like nursing students need.
Makes sense.
My chiropractor, his anatomy teacher was a paleontologist.
Nice.
He was so excited when he was like, do you know him? I'm like, do you know how many of us there are? No. I mean, I might know somebody who knows him, because there's only like 2 degrees of separation. No. No, I don't.
So, I obviously catch up to Boris and Henry quickly, because they're not moving very quick.
Mm-hmm.
Dare I ask what happened?
We went into glorious battle.
And I would have beat him if he didn't clone himself at the end there. I don't know how you hit me so fast.
Okay, that answers my next question. You're getting healing word first.
I
put my hand up on Henry and cast healing word. And
when I want something to end, I just get this surge of energy, and I just and that's it. That's how I hit you.
Henry gained a battle brother
Thanks.
and made sure that the local healers hate him.
Oh.
do very well punch.
Doctors hate
That's Spellcaster.
Thank you, Brina, for the healing hand. It definitely brings the eyesight back into focus.
That's an awesome attack bonus on your spells.
So you get a 7 back.
Thank you.
Groups.
Or you like some help as well?
I mean, I appreciate it. It's not necessary. We're going to the medical tent. Unless you feel it's absolutely necessary.
You've helped us before too. You get us the same thing. Because apparently I can't roll more than a 1 on this dice today.
It's nice that your modifier is bigger than the dice is.
Yes. Yeah.
It's actually basically a bonus at that point.
I'm gonna walk with them over to the medic tent just to see if I can be of any more assistance. Because I obviously can't carry them, but I can at least run messenger if one of them collapses.
Fair enough. So
Even
we
if
will
I
end
could,
with you guys getting to the medical tent. You get in there, and there are a lot of peasants in there. They've had their trash kicked.
Like,
Some of them, I mean, it's a lot of young men, and so they're just like, oh, it's so cool. But I feel so sick now. Like, look at me, I'm a knight.
do I look at these guys realizing that they look like my classmates in Swordplay 101?
Some of them, yeah. Well, not the ones that you would have. Maybe look related to them. You guys were not attacking each other, so they shouldn't be getting hurt.
No, but they look like the same kind of people that were in my class.
Oh, yeah, definitely. The druids who are in there doing the healing look see those two, and they just get this look on their face like, fighters. They're all the same.
Be sharp. You never know when someone's gonna jump you.
On the bright side, because you guys look, the way you're bruising and you're bleeding is, and the way you guys hold yourself, they can tell that you guys make meditated hits. You know where to hit to cause both the most amount of damage and the least amount of damage, depending on what you're doing. So they at least are going to be like, well, I know exactly where I'm going to look to heal you. You're not just willy-nilly flinging a sword around and accidentally smacking someone in the head, you know.
No, he just did that once. That's it. I may have small baby concussion. Not very big.
Yeah. We will end session there tonight.
Tell them that I helped
Because it is 10 o'clock here, and some people probably want to go to bed.
Maybe. Who knows?
Jen, can I ask one quick question?
Yes.
Would the druids understand me? The druids speak Fae, right?
I think they speak
Some
Druid.
of them do, not all of them.
Okay. Well,
Because they have their own language.
I'm going to try my best to let them know that I helped a little bit with Boris and Henry on the way in. And hope that they understand little old me.
Helped a little bit.
He went from having 2 clones to 1. It was great.
It doesn't look like any of them understand, but Boris is able to communicate to them, so.
Okay. I helped a little bit. And I'll
Yeah.
for translating.
Where are we going to
So basically, until next week, you guys can choose to roleplay the rest of your afternoon and evening. Basically up until dinner.
Okay.
And potentially depending on how it goes, you guys can even roleplay the spy sneaky sneak. And we'll just start wherever you guys end with all that.
That guy in the Ford. What did you do?
What did you do?
Yeah, let's try
And the
to,
kids are just laughing hysterically.
let's try to do this one at a time, people. That way we don't get wires crossed and confused. And so try not to take a week. before we start putting things there.
The nice thing about the roleplay, guys, is that you can make threads off of them specifically for whoever you're talking to so that they're not getting mixed up. Because we were doing that last night because we had like 2 or 3 conversations going on with our DM, and I got sick of trying to find where I was, so I just made a thread.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And it was super helpful until we were suddenly all in the same place, and I was like, well, I don't need that thread anymore. Whoop! And it would just loop me right back into where we were. Discord is made for gaming.
Who'd have thought?
I know, right?
Well,
Yeah, I kind of forgot about the threads.
good night,
Mhm.
people.
Nah.
Good night. Don't let my cat sneak in.